Morning, morning, Satideh Mawnin Runnings. Welcome,
Mawnin
everyone.
Runnings, locks.
Welcome, peoples.
Mwah,
Mwah,
mwah, my
mwah.
friend.
How you do, Jack? How you do?
Oh, I am
Morning.
awesome. I am so wonderful. Thank you, Jesus.
Amen.
Yeah, I was so excited when you called me. I said, "Does Lady D need help, or am I gonna be a guest?"
Oh,
Make me say, "Lady D need help here, or you know, say me in that."
yes.
But when you
And
say yes, I say, "Okay, now I
and
need to prep."
and see here now. We just
Yes.
roll right in,
Oh my
simple,
goodness.
just ready, right. I tell you, Jack. How you do? How you do,
I
Jackie?
am wonderful, Lady D. I am happy. I am thanking the Lord every day. I am well.
You are well,
I
and
am well.
I'm feeling so good because you know something. When I started this Saturday morning runnings thing, I say, all right, I was raised in Clarendon in Penance, and
Mm-hmm.
so I want to share a little bit about where we come from, what it was
Right.
like growing up there, which is common to all communities in the 14 parishes across
Of
the island
Jamaica.
of Jamaica. And then
Right.
I know that there are so many similarities with
Mm-hmm.
other islands across the world.
Absolutely.
But being Jamaican, you want to make sure you ups up yourself and push your culture, right?
We were talking about that yesterday too.
Yes.
We
So
think the Caribbean is just us.
same way. And then we call everybody else island small, like we not
Like we're
small.
not small too.
You know, that's something we use in Jamaica. We say the other small island them.
Right.
So I'm so happy that you agreed after I outlined to you the simplicity of what we can do
Yes, and
on our own.
timing is everything. Nothing happens before the time. Because
Right.
when you called me or when you messaged me, of course, I'm in school. I
Mhm.
had homework, I had exams and everything. And time management is something else. And
Yes.
I said, I'm going to set a goal to finish certain reports and papers by a certain time. And it so happened I wrapped that up last night. I did my one of my final quizzes for the class I'm doing on Monday. I finished that at about 3 o'clock this morning
Oh
and
dear Lord.
submitted it. So
Dear
I had
Lord.
everything out of the way so I could have this morning. So your timing was good.
Good. And I'm glad you are such a productive human being, and you strive for excellence, and
I
I
do.
commend you for that. And
Thank you.
that's what it is. And
Thank
of
you.
course
And
I
it always means more when it comes from a friend.
yes, I'm thanking you,
Yes.
and you are my friend.
Thank you.
So welcome everyone. It's Saturday morning. Please share the link with someone you know inside of the zone
Yes,
with
please
Lady
do.
D Denise Gomez,
And
my
subscribe.
guest this morning. Yes, my love. Subscribe. Click the red shading. The lettering is in white. Tap it,
Mhm.
and then you tap the bell. And each time I am broadcasting, you'll be able to get all of what I'm doing. You won't miss out. You'll be in the know. So, welcome everyone. It's a wonderful Saturday morning. I don't know
Yes.
about your Saturday morning in terms of the weather, Jackie. What's going on in your neck
In
of the woods?
Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're in New York. I'm in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
This time of year, well, I'm pretty new still to the area, but I usually come and visit my brother. I've been visiting him for the past like 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually come around about this time between now and April. And I find that the weather at this time is perfect. It's really
Mm-hmm.
nice and you get a cool breeze. Sometimes it drops in the nighttime, but you wake up in the morning and you still have that sunshine. Florida, of course, gets
Yes.
rain just pops out of nowhere and then it just stops immediately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this morning is a little overcast, but it's not chilly. Last night was a little bit chilly, but
Mm-hmm.
it's lovely this morning. AC just popped in, so I figured the temperature is probably about in the 70s.
Okay, very nice. I could
Yes.
perhaps just jump on my on my device just to say, and we are now at 19 degrees.
Locks. Wanna keep it?
19 degree
Me
and
a
not
miss
in
it.
and not in no shade. We're not in no shade, nothing.
No, sir. What is that? 69 degrees here.
See there now. So what a big old difference.
You have
And
a long
yeah,
sleeve, not true. You have a long sleeve. Okay. Me a mess with
my
you.
dear, my dear, my dear, I am telling you, it is just something else. You have to say,
Oh
boy,
my goodness.
we live in the same country, but like, the
You know that I'm in the kitchen. That's where I decide to do it.
and I
And of
love that.
course, my
I love
kitchen is
that.
all my kitchen is always buzzing. So of course something is on the stove.
Hmm.
And my mouth running for that
You
thing
see
in your
that?
background there,
You
your
see
ackee
that?
and
You
dumpling.
see
And
that?
mine will be ackee and roast bread fruit. All
Yes.
right, so let's get it
Oh
on.
my goodness. So, as always, Saturday Morning Runnings is an interactive program.
Yes.
And we do have guests who are coming in. I'm looking at Patrick. Hey, Mass P, morning. I see Chris Wilby out of Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. And Happy, Maureen Goulburn. Morning, Happy. Welcome to Saturday Morning Runnings. And she said, Jackie's always a giver. And that is true. Yes. So
Thank you.
bless you, Jack. Um, I love the layout of the kitchen this morning because last night I was saying there's a kitchen I have, but it looked too foreignish, like stage
Yes,
kitchen something.
it
So,
is.
Mr. No, so I use that. Then I remembered you said you might do behind me here. So I
Uh-huh.
said that would be just great if I could just pull up some sweet, sweet fried dumpling.
Aye, you
Some
did find it.
apple in the back. And I did find it. I tell you. So everybody who is coming on and your mouth watering is Saturday morning runnings. That's the idea. So
Yes, and
Jackie,
it's gonna water for real because it's not just the picture that she has in the background, but it's going on right here too.
there you
So
go. There you go. So two young women here having a conversation this morning. Why?
uh-huh.
Because we were raised in the rural parts of Jamaica. Now,
Yes.
um, I perhaps am in what you call that kind of flip opposite because most people who were born in Jamaica in the rural parts,
Mhm.
after some time they moved over to city.
Yes.
But for Denise, she born a city and then
I
moved
move.
over to country,
Ha-ho.
which to this day, Jackie, is the best move ever happened in
Best.
my life. I'm telling you,
Well,
I would not have traded the reason and cause for the move.
as for
So
me,
big up to country.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Born in the country and then moved to the city part of the country.
I love
You forget that. So we still have the country life
yes.
throughout.
All right, so let's start talking. Everybody know me grew up country, Clarendon, Pennant, but it's about you sharing your roots and how we merge into Puddn Pan. So tell me
Uh-huh.
where you come from.
I'm from a little district in St. Anne called Freehill.
Free Hill.
Yes, when
Is
you
there
say
a hill?
Freehill, a lot of people will say, oh, St. Mary. No, there's a
No.
Freehill in St. Mary, but Freehill in St. Anne.
Hmm.
Now, even when you say Freehill in St. Anne, a lot of times you still have to go further to say next to bamboo. And the
Oh,
moment you say next to bamboo, people say, oh, up the sun.
they get it.
Because
Mhm.
bamboo is the bigger of the small towns. You have Freehill, Kima,
Mhm.
Lilyfield, Bamboo. Listen to the name, Kima, Bamboo, Freehill. And those names are coming really straight from our African roots because the civil estate that's 7 miles away between St. Anne's Bay and Prairie, right there, civil estate had a lot of slaves. And the
Mhm.
slaves that escaped from civil, they ran through the hills and the mountains and they found their way in Freehill. They
Okay.
settled in the mountains in the hilly sections of Free Hill, and hence the name Free Hill. When you
Mhm.
enter Free Hill, there's a bus stop and a huge, what do you call it, cotton tree. And right there, they call that burying ground.
Okay.
And from our kids, they've been calling it burying ground, but we didn't even understand the history behind it. And as we grew old and we did history, then we realized that that was where the slaves that escaped, and when they died, they buried them right at the entrance of Free Hill, underneath the cotton tree. And I heard, since I've migrated here, that the historical department in Jamaica, they have even gone there and they did excavations, and they have designated that site a historical,
Oh,
little historical area right there at the entrance of Free Hill. So I'm from that little district, and it's a farming community, close-knit community called Free Hill. When you're up there, you can get a 180-degree view from all the way back from St. Mary, and stretching all the way back to Trelawney, even parts of St. James. Because we're that high. Almost every radio station in Jamaica has a pole up there because it's that high up there.
Oh, amazing. So thank you so much for the history facts right here. So you'll get everything on Inside the Zone, Satideh Mawnin Runnings, courtesy of Jacqui this morning. Yes. Thank you, Jacqui. Thank you. Thank you. So big family, small family?
Big family. But I also have to tend to the
Of
stove,
course.
right? Because, all right, I'm going to turn this off or turn it down. Okay, good. My immediate family is big. My mother is an only child. My grandparents had just one child, and she has 11 of us.
Like 2, 4,
1,
5.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Right.
11.
From a 2
No
hand plus
twins.
1.
Yes. No twins, no triplets, no none of that, all that big excitement, just one. And guess what? She is an amazing
So
woman.
what number are you for?
3. I'm the first girl and third child.
Okay.
So that's why I had to learn to cook.
Yes, please. And that we're getting to that part. Now, what was it like growing up in
Oh
Free
my
Hill?
God. In Free Hill, growing up in Free Hill. All right. Free Hill is near to Mawning. So we're on that same, elevation, that land mass. So you have Lumsden, you have Bamboo, Lumsden, and then you're in Mawning. And because of that, people, when you mention Mawning, the first thing that comes to people is the temperature, the coldness. It's chilly in Mawning. When you're driving through Mawning, you have the fog and you come like you're in some place in England or even here in America. And Free Hill is similar. Free Hill has a similar temperature. So it's, especially this time of year, it's chilly. And we had... No, ma. No, that's why I like cool weather. I loved living in New York. I didn't mind the cold. But, after a while, sometimes it gets to you.
Yes.
But Free Hill is like that. But growing up in Free Hill, I grew up actually with my grandmother, because my 2 eldest brother and I, we grew up with our grandparents because, of course, mom was out working. And then, of course, she remarried and she started another family on the North Coast. So we were between her and grandma, myself and my 2 other brothers. When it was time for us to begin high school, we went to live with mom and everybody else.
Everybody else.
In Runaway Day.
So we know that on a Saturday morning is a very busy time in households across Jamaica.
Yeah.
It's either you hear the pot cover drop, you hear somebody a stir, you hear somebody a send picnic for something. You hear some music a play, whether it's in your house or it's some jukebox somewhere. You hear
somewhere.
a call to people, say, "Morning, Miss Ruby and
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Thomas," my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Or you hear people are go market and say they have to run go catch down a bus line. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always a fabulous, fabulous time on a
All
Saturday.
right.
And I use
So
that word, Jacqui, fabulous, because you know, find it not
no,
arranged, it not
no,
staged, it just
no.
happened. So tell me about your Saturday mornings in your
Saturday morning. Actually, for Saturday morning start from Friday.
eh,
Because my grandfather had grown. So implant dasheen, implant yam and banana, coffee, all those things. We
mhm,
had chocolate, we had busy, throw everything on the farm.
mhm,
So he puts that together from a Friday evening, whatever he's taking to the market, not even him, grandma.
mhm.
And we now had to help them carry it from down the ground, come put up in the yard in the back of the kitchen where the crane there and all of that.
Mhm.
And so that they can put it together in crocus bags now to go to market Saturday morning.
Mhm.
No, there is a gentleman in the district, well-known man, Mr. Nelson, Mr. Kenneth Nelson. He used to load up, he used to have trucks. So he used to load up the market truck now to carry people to the market. So there were a few times when grandma had to go on the truck, and you know they have the bench at the back of the truck, the
Yes.
truck with the wooden bench at the back of the truck,
Yeah.
and they would pack the load in there, and the people them would sit down in there. And when it had go up on the rough road, and so everybody, and I first time I see breasts and go up in the ear, so and all of them, something there,
Right.
you know.
You're
So
right.
with the old woman there, and them I see, I don't know how them do it. Them have such good skills. Cause they
Yeah.
hold on the piece of
Talented
hard, and
skills.
them a
Yes.
sleep, you know, and they bust a chuck a rock, so and them a rock with the truck, and you just think that that's normal life. And then we know as kids now, we done lay down in between the crocus bag them as picnic. And we
Mhm.
done find a comfortable spot and fast asleep.
So,
So
Jacqui, I'm glad you took me back to that. So, before, let me just acknowledge one question which came to my mind to you know, but I didn't want to break your trend of
uh
thought because Cher Pearson is
yes.
on, and Sherry saying, "What is crang crang?"
The crane now is a mesh wire that
Mhm.
they put over the wood fire. They hang it over the wood fire. Now they have fancy what you call it, smoker.
Yes.
People have fancy smoker. My brother in Texas have one nice fancy big one, and it have a smoker. But we never have them fanciness at those times. So they would hang what you call it, the mesh wire right
Mhm.
over the fire where the smoke would come up, and if they kill pigs or you know anything like that, the intestines, the tripe, they
Mm.
hang it over there, and it would stay there and smoke.
Okay. See there?
So that's the crang.
Yes. Yes. So, Cher, you get your answer. All right. So let's do a quick roll call here, Jacqui, and then we continue.
Yes,
So I want to say good morning to um who Divine Connection. That's Angie. Morning,
Angie and I went to
Angie.
high school
Yeah,
together.
you
Yes,
see
we
that?
did.
Oh my goodness,
Yes.
small world. And then
Hi, Angie.
there is Errol Stewart Cat, who is always in with us
Yeah,
on a
in
Thursday.
the yes.
On a Thursday and
Hi,
Monday,
Errol.
out of penance. Then there is Elizabeth Griffiths. You know who that is?
Yes, Elizabeth is in Georgia. That's my friend. I sent her the link last night. Thanks for
Okay.
joining,
So,
Lizzie.
Elizabeth, did you send it to anybody? I hope you sent it out. We need more people to come on and enjoy this segment with us.
Oh my goodness.
Then we have let's see who else quickly. So Chris is there. Brenda. Hey
Hi,
Brenda.
Chris.
Brenda is on.
Hi,
And
Brenda.
she said a beautiful Saturday morning, ladies. And Sharon Rosalind Campbell. You know who that is,
Rosalind.
Jacqui?
Oh, Roslyn. Oh,
Oh.
that's Sheffy Too's wife.
Oh, okay.
That's, yes, that's Brother Sheffy Too's
All
wife.
right. So morning and Hortense,
Yeah.
that princess of my princess. So I have two
Hi,
penance people on
Princess.
with me.
Mwah.
Yeah, out of Pennants in Clarendon. So, welcome everybody.
Wonderful.
It is Satideh Mawnin Runnings. My guest is Jacqui Tyson, and Jacqui can cook. So, make we get into it now, Jacqui. All right.
Yeah.
So, you walked us down memory lane about the mornings, well, the prepping from a Friday. Now,
Yes.
when the
Now,
actual, yes, so take us through
so
now.
Saturday morning, no, that Saturday morning, we would get early in the morning, like at 4 o'clock, when picnic just deep down in their sleep, and you have to wake up because me know I the only girl. My grandmother now gonna leave me at home,
Right.
because so I have to go to market with her.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I was a little girl, I wasn't going there to sell or nothing like that. But I had to go with grandma. And like we say, we settled down in between the crocus bags and whatever with all kind of food stuff, and we sleep till we reach Brownstown. Brownstown Market we're going.
Mm-hmm.
And Brownstown Market was very busy, and so on. Grandma sold her stuff right near to the market gate. And she had a stall, just one of them stall that they make out of just look like some yam stick, and then put some, and then because that's what they want to fancy. Them never fancy, and then they put the mesh, the same crane mesh. They put the mesh around it, and it had of course a stand where you could put the food. But there was always an empty one next to her, and that was my bed.
Oh,
This stall. So when we reach Brownstone, and grandma set up herself because she sell good dasheen. The land, my grandfather's land, it kind of slopes down a little bit, and down there it has good clay soil, and clay holds water, and dasheen grows best in that kind of soil. So he used to get some really lovely dasheen, and people used to look forward to that, and some yam called mozella.
yes,
Mozella yam.
Mozella.
So grandma used to take them to Brownstown Market and set up. And when me sit down there now falling asleep, she would put me up on the stall. So, it's when I grew up and I was thinking back, and I'm saying, look where I'm coming from. If I can remember those times being up on top of that stall sleeping, I must have been a little girl. I must have been a little girl, because those things weren't big.
Right.
And I can still remember almost everything that happened. She would sit at the market gate, and people would come and buy. She didn't carry a lot of stuff like some people. Just I think enough to sell. And then right by about midday, my grandfather would get there. My grandfather, everybody knew my grandfather in the market because he sold hymnals only and Bibles.
Oh, really? Which one? The Sankey? Well, there's
redemption songs.
okay.
Redemption songs and Bibles. That's what my grandfather used to come to the market and sell. And people used to come there and buy them. He just carried one bag, one handle bag, and he'd come, and people just come and buy them. And one thing that stands out in my head and never left my head, there was a lady, you remember when Grace used to have the paper bags, those paper handle bags that they're probably coming back in with, and it had a Grace on the side. I think that was probably one of the first words I learned as a child, Grace.
Yeah, Grace.
And there was a woman who came to the market, Brownstown Market Gate, and she sold nothing but bags. Those bags. Tall lady, light skin. She probably from St. Elizabeth, I don't know, wherever she came from. She not sell anything else but bags. Just stand up at Brownstown Market Gate. Bag. Bag. All day. Bag. All day. Till me start to say bag, and one day I got a decent slap to say the bag. I imitate the lady. I get a decent slap from my grandmother. He gonna say bag.
And the decent slap meant one big good lick.
One good lick.
Yeah. One good lick.
One good lick.
And then you have such rich memories, though.
I do, because it was I don't know, we were raised to remember these things. And growing up with grandma, we had a time in the evenings, everything in a one. When we leave there, so when we come back, when grandma finished her selling, she would go inside the market and in market house and purchase her stuff to go home that she like a beef and whatever little things that she didn't grow. Right. She would go in the market and buy that. And she would say to me, no, I should sit down right by the stall where her things are. Sometimes she don't even have them on the stall. She have them on the ground on a bag or something. And she would tell me to just sit there. I guess just to have a presence there to know that somebody's stuff is right there. I should run inside the market and pick up our stuff. You see me sit on the likes of me and me on the and me sit me I try to sit down like your grandma. Yeah. So me sit down. Me remember doing that. Me sit down and me I said, that's she.
Yes. Oh my God. That was good, because, and then we were trying to, emulate the people we saw in our lives at the time. And I mean, this was, as Angie says, you were being schooled in entrepreneurship. And
I was going to tell you that. And my grandmother was the kind of person who tried every little thing. She run Puddn, she make drops. She made greater cake. She made, and when we were going to school, what she would do is she'd make the greater cake and put them in a one little bowl and carry goes to school and sell it. We had to sell it. And we better make sure the money come back,
right?
Yes,
accountability.
Yes, and me mainly was responsible for that. And when the greater cake, she make sock. Remember sock?
Yes,
and then she said, okay, you go and make the sock today.
Yeah.
That time then just get one fridge. I think of them first get one cursing fridge in the district. That is another story. Yeah, about cursing fridge.
I've heard of it. I've not had the pleasure.
Yes. When you take the ice out of the fridge, it smell like cursing but
oh, it actually give off a smell.
Then, when they finally get light and the fridge now they get to a fridge I can plug in, then I had to make them and put in the freezer and then take them to school and sell. And kids look forward to the 10-cent drops.
My goodness.
Try buy one drops to 10 cents now, no?
Right. Wishful thinking. Welcome, everyone. You're just joining. It's Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez, and it's our Satideh Mawnin Runnings. My guest is Jacqui Tyson, a good friend. And Jack, I thought of it, and I said, I've been asking people because, me trying to take the platform now.
Yes.
To another level.
And you're doing an excellent job of, I was just looking at where you started and, how the show and everything has evolved. And it's such wonderful.
Yes, and I give God thanks for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So proud
so
of you.
I thought of what else? Because me alone can't come sit down before the computer and I talk about where we come from. That's just enough now, right? So I said, I need to start bringing in people with that kind of, snazz about themselves and who just so relatable. Right?
Yeah. And sometimes those people are right within arm's length, you don't even
within
realize. Sometimes you're looking outside.
There you go.
Somebody's right there next to you who can help you out.
Same so. So I said, something. But Jacqui cook, Jacqui and my friend, let me ask her. And just like that, we're here today. 10:30 a.m. right here on my clock. If your clock saying 10:29, it's wrong. Stick and stay with me. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Are we back?
Welcome back, everyone.
Yes.
This is what I'm talking about. See Jacqui over there, everybody, by the stove. So it's not a staged background, it's our live kitchen. See, she'll turn on our
Yes.
overhead light over our stove. Jacqui is rustling up her breakfast this morning. She is
Yes.
from a place called Free Hill. So
Free Hill.
hold it up some more. So
Okay, so this is fried roast breadfruit.
Okay.
Okay, and of
Yes,
course, me did
ma'am.
have on my pot of chocolate tea
Well, me never have
from
on the pot,
Mawning.
but me so happen to make the ginger tea, and because we're chatting so much, me check if it cold by now.
We're talking about the chocolate tea with the hile all over the top part. Yes.
The ginger
Listen,
tea get all lukewarm.
and let me just clarify. I'm talking about the real chocolate, and I used to have to help Grandma to make it.
Mm-hmm.
These are they.
So where you get that now, Jacqui?
Straight from yard.
Oh, somebody come up.
Yeah, my mother did carry some for me, and I saved. I want leave out of hers, but then let me find some more down here at a store, and they taste just as good. So, of course, this now it's made in the bowl. We can't go through the whole long history about making it, putting it to dry, washing them off, putting them to dry. Then you parch them, and then you beat them. Then you make them into these balls. And then you go and refine it by grating this again and make it into them round something here again, the light dumpling.
Yes.
So this is what I grate. So like about 1.5 of this in a cup, in about 2.5 cups of water and 1 cup of coconut milk. And we have cinnamon sticks in there, and then just let it boil for about 10-15 minutes. I like when it really boils and put like a salt in there. And you put your nutmeg.
Nutmeg. But I'm sure, as my viewers are here, I see Brenda. So nice of you to be here with me, Brenda. Brenda says, that's just how my mom was. She just didn't go to market, but had a little farm and would sell to the market people. Good day, old days, of course. Then Pauline Edwards says, so many memories. Hortense Princess said, this is so funny. I just send it off to more people in case they have time to catch it live. Thank you, Princess. And yes, Angie says she shared the link. So for those of you who are watching and it is your first time, you don't know nothing about me, never heard my name before. You maybe even wonder where we get the name from. It's on my birth certificate. I was born Denise Gomez. So if it's your first time, I would just like you to.
So let me kind of bring this a little bit closer. That you can.
It looked like this one. Yep. So hold your thought a little, Jacqui. So please subscribe to my channel. You're right there. You're watching. You'll see the word which says subscribe. Just tap it, and then a bell will come up, and you tap the bell. And if you have time, you'll see the word all. You just tap all. So each and every time when I'm broadcasting, you'll catch me there live. All right. So Josephine Chavans, I think this is family for you, Jacqui.
That's my mother.
Oh, it's mom named Josephine.
Mother dearest. That's my mother. A lot of what I know is from that matriarch right here.
Princess says, Lord, she make me feel all bad. I guess she relate to everything. So Claude, I have not seen Claude in a long time. Claude Wilson say hello to Jacqui.
Hi, Claude.
Me, I so love this Jamaican woman, my former runaway fashion model, Miss Barbara, who I have met, and her name will be in my soon-to-be published book, Tell Her Me in Jamaica and Love Pudding. No. Go on, young Claude. And Claude actually had a liking for a neighbor of mine. So he disclosed to me years later because I never met Claude until on Facebook. And with the
Okay.
show, yes, he had something for a neighbor of mine who lived right facing me in Penance there. So him no Penance. And
Oh,
Brody, we went to high school, Winston Broadwell. I would do well with some of that chocolate tea right now. Yeah,
listen,
you
me
know.
have more. Where there? Is
You know
anybody
that
close to me here in Fort Lauderdale?
you never know. Cecile Matthews, first time watching. Ingrid from Tamarack, Florida.
Yes, that's my classmate. I just met
Okay.
Ingrid. She's a wonderful lady, and
Yes.
she's my classmate. Thank you,
All right.
Ingrid.
So please subscribe to my channel because there are so many things I'm implementing and the transition is in a timely manner, but I would like you to be a part. So, Jacqui,
Yes.
let's talk. So, all right.
Mhm.
Free Hill experience in the market. You sleep in the little space, your
Mhm.
grandmother, your
Mhm.
siblings, 11 of Hunu, which would have been quite the
Quite a
gathering,
houseful. My
right?
mother, and funny, my mother was a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
My mother taught kids, what you call it, basic school.
Okay.
And I think my mother is one of the best basic school teachers you can think about.
Mm-hmm.
Because so many children have gone on to college and have started their careers, and they come back to thank my mother. Teachers from Wilmers and those places ask which teacher teach these kids when they come to them. And I remember one time they sent I don't remember if they actually sent for her, but they made sure she was
Recognized.
noticed because she sent out good kids.
Ah,
And the same
congratulations, mom.
and the same was at home when we all were together with my mother. It now I wouldn't say it was like we were in school, but we learned so many different things because my mother would engage us in things like art. So we'd all have a time when we sit around the table, and if we had homework, listen to this. If we had homework, my brother Tommy, he's the first one, and he always talks about this. We'd all sit around the table, we'd do our homework that we got from school. Then we had to exchange the books with each other, and
Oh,
you mark that homework.
really?
So no matter which class or grade you're in, you have to understand
Oh,
the homework enough to make sure say it right and correct it before it go to school the next day.
that's amazing, though, Jacqui.
So
That's
we
quite
learned,
an innovative way.
yeah, we learned from each other. And then there was a time I remember we used to do even candle batik. My mother would get the t-shirts and the dye and the candle, and she would melt the candle, and we'd be out in the yard making candle batik just for ourselves, just for us to keep us busy, keep our minds active.
Oh,
And
wow.
we do even tie and dye. We learned to do tie dye, and she showed us how to dip it in the dye. And so I remember those things. And me, being the first girl, I had to learn to cook. And that started from I was at grandma. So the pudding pan, my grandmother had a pudding pan. We have a big pudding pan right here, about 22 quarts or so. But my grandmother pudding pan wasn't as big. It could drop in that pudding pan, but that pudding pan did everything for grandma. If she a bake, Jacqui go wash out the pudding pan. If she may need flour, Jacqui go wash out the pudding pan.
Yeah.
No, after a while, and my name pudding pan is Poon Pan. Go wash out the pudding pan. And if them going ground, when them going to the farm, grandma is gonna go cook for the men. The pudding pan had to be there. That pudding pan was in our lives. We wash plate in there, we turn down plate in there. You put the pig when them just kill salt or something go in that pudding pan. That pudding pan stays in my life to this day.
Oh my gosh.
If I had known, I would have kept it as a souvenir.
But you know that I have. You remember the picture you took with me with your pudding pan?
Yes.
When I was looking for it, because I wanted to put it up to say that when Jacqui baked a few Christmases ago, I love licking the pudding pan because I'm from a big family. My aunt and my uncles were all, they would bake.
Yes.
And as picnic, you line up, you can't wait. From the
Yes.
egg and sugar start, you're there waiting. So
We
I
all
know the pudding pan experience.
we all did that, and like you said, because we were from a large, family. Everybody got a chance to lick that pudding pan, and we didn't fight all over the spoon. I mean, a fist fight, but
Yes,
we want the spoon, we want this. We'd have fight all over the spoon. But even though we were all together in that one household as kids, we were good kids. My mother raised very, I would say, thank God, she raised good kids, 7 boys and the rest girls. My mother was, if not, she can confirm, probably the first woman in St. Anne to receive a general motor vehicle license. Because she used to drive a big bus and do tourists. My mother used to carry tourists. So they had her husband, my other siblings' father, they had a business together called Reliable Tours. And she also carry the tourists, like treat them after she takes them out, like for the whole week, she would treat them to dinner at home. And in between, like she would drop them at their hotel or she'd drop them at an attraction and then like Dunn's River. So, and then in between her going back for them, she would come and start dinner. Okay. And then she would say to me, finish it. So I had to finish the dinner or do whatever she tell me to finish till she come back. Because when she come back, she expects certain things to be done because the people them coming for dinner, tourist people them from foreign coming for dinner.
Jacqui, you had quite the lesson.
Oh yes. Plus, listen, was it you? I think it was you. I was telling that we couldn't cook any less than 4 pounds of rice in my house. So that's where I learned to cook rice from them times there.
In bulk.
Yes. But let me tell you something, I wouldn't give that up for nothing. We were close. It made us close as siblings. And she insisted in my household, there was no step. So, you have step sister, but there was no step in my mother's household. You couldn't say step. We are brother and sister.
Yes.
You understand? And we grew up with that love for one another. When we greet each other, even today, we greet each other with a hug and a kiss. And that's how, and I wouldn't give that up for anything.
Absolutely. Welcome, everyone. 10:44 a.m. It is Satideh Mawnin Runnings, and I'm even seeing Asinet here. So clearly, she's not so busy, I guess, because she's busy, so she's not so busy. Welcome, Miss. Morning to you. And she said, good morning. And
good morning.
Your mom says, thank you, Lady D. Board games.
Board games.
Yes. And she says, wooden spoon.
Yes.
Claudia Thomas, that looks like my aunt. Awesome, big up. All good, enjoying it. Auntie me. And Brody said, Lady D, kindly let Jacqui know that she's narrating my lifestyle with the pudding pan back in my days growing up in Rock River, Clarendon. What a sinting.
Rock River, who is it? Is it my grandmother have family in Rock River? My mother can confirm a lot of that stuff she knows. But Rock River, I used to hear my grandfather used to go from place to place to preach. He was a preacher. That's my mother's father. And he would walk. I never see a man could walk so lady.
But that's why you never used to have men with a lot of weight.
Listen, man, my grandfather could walk and we walk miles. And he walk miles, go preach and come back.
He didn't preach out in a church.
Eh?
He never preached out in a church.
The first church that was built in Freehill was built by my grandfather.
Same.
And he built a few churches in these places that he has preached. Like he right. So he would go Rock River, go preach, and then come back and start churches there. But the home church is in Freehill. That's the first church that was in Freehill.
I'm sorry, Jacqui. You know what princess she put no, because you were talking how he could walk. She says, Definitely. After them, I know ladder. Now we know ladder.
Yeah, me know ladder. But listen, may I forgive you this joke. There was a time when masking wasn't carrying the market people them anymore. So my grandmother had to figure out how to get to bamboo.
Mm-hmm.
No, bamboo is like a 5 mile walk or 3 mile walk or so. What 3 mile? We'll say five. What a 3 mile walk. To go out to bamboo, you have to go up through one shortcut, one hill and pass the graveyard and then you go down. If you go out a lily field to catch the bus. So she sent us to borrow Mass Ferdy donkey the night before because that's what we go and walk with her now and carry the load out to Lilyfield so she can catch a North Liner to go to Brownstown. You remember them bus there? The
No,
country
well,
bus.
yeah, we have hummingbird.
So this particular day, we come back now and get ready to go to school. You know, me and this young lady who used to live with us at the house named Girl T. Me and Gertie walk with grandma from daybreak and go out, go let off the load and then pack the load on the bus and she gone to Brownstown. No, we supposed to hurry up. Grandma said, hurry up and go back home and tie the donkey. I want to go on to school. Lady D, we're gallivant on the road till sun catch we. And I mess around with the donkey. No, you so we, you know. Me say when the donkey kick up in the ear and kick up in back foot, we run up on one wall, we call it, with the stone wall and when them park, you know those stone walls, we run up on the stone wall park down with we tumble down in the road and the donkey kick up and go.
Oh, son, me alone have a donkey experience.
Me say the donkey run away. And we have run behind the donkey. We couldn't catch the donkey. The donkey end up over the graveyard.
Oh dear.
All right. Then when we reach over the cemetery, over Bamboo Cemetery, the donkey was just grazing. And I pick grass and I go on. And every time we come to grab the rope, he run.
Oh,
but we back him up. He run that time, he running. So we back up the donkey and we finally get the donkey figure. When we reach a school that day, it must be 12 o'clock. Buck off all my toe.
real country life experiences. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness, Jacqui, I didn't realize you had so much history, you know, because we always talking and sharing.
Exactly.
But now we really get an insight as to how you were formed. You know,
exactly.
In your family, in your community, man, and the experience is so rich, which is why no matter what level we are able to attain in life, there is that piece of us that kind of cement we a bit, you know. So we're not gone off too far, you know.
Exactly.
Humility kick in. Morning, David. My donkey named Eva. Jesus, thank you, David. Your donkey named Eva. Good morning, everybody. If it's your first time, you don't know me, or you know, it's a lady there I want to show, and so I'd like you to subscribe to my channel. It's about time now because, as Jacqui says, my platform is growing. You'll be surprised what's going on.
It is
there, and you know, I'd like you to subscribe,
be a part of it,
and be a part of it. So, I believe in building the numbers, you know, that says something, but the live viewership also tells a story about the host and what and your content and so on. So I'm here working hard at it because it's gonna go places. I don't need to come with me. It's about time now.
Absolutely.
So
I can see it.
Yes, so please subscribe to my channel. You're watching, and you can share it. If you don't know how to share, somebody must be there with you. You can say, so you must do, man, and share and say, hey, great things going on over here, man. You don't know what you missed this Saturday morning. 9 minutes to 11 o'clock. So, Jacqui.
Oh, my gosh.
Puddn Pan Inc. Puddn Pan
Inc. Okay. I've always said to myself, I'm always in the kitchen. I need to do something. And when I moved to New York, my cakes, I was still baking because I learned the baking from grandma and my mother. Remember, back then they didn't have blender to blend up the fruits. So I started by learning to cut up the fruits and fine with a knife. That's how them used to do the fruits. And then they put them in bottles or whatever kegs they have with rum and wine and so on. And that sits there like for six months. And my grandmother used to bake cake for weddings, and she used to make people wedding dresses because she was a seamstress too. That's the only thing I didn't learn to do was to sew. My mother sews very well, and crochet and all of that. They did all that very well. But the baking, I just had this thing for the baking. And then when I went to live with mom now, mom baked excellent cakes. And it's the old fashioned way. Where they put the batter, after they put it in the pan, they put the batter in a pan of water on top of the stove. So it's like you're boiling the something come out. It's a pudding, it come out wonderful. Tastes excellent. So I learned that way. And then when I went to high school in Brownstown, I went to St. Hilda's High School in Brownstown. I was in the science class, and a part of the science program was food and nutrition. So immediately I was in that class. That was excellent for me. But they couldn't teach me to make the cakes that I already knew how to make. They just teach me to make what you call it, rock buns or whatever. But a lot of those things I already knew how to make because I got that training from home. And the pudding, now my puddings, potato puddings that I make, almost every week, because grandma them used to plant potatoes, so I used to have to help them to grate the potato and all of that. And I learned how to make the potatoes her way. I never saw grandma put flour in her potato pudding. So to this day, I don't put flour in my No, my potato pudding come out excellent, and people love it. We send them all over the world. And how I started is when I lived in the Bronx. A friend of mine that I met at Bronx, when I started going to Bronx Community College, Elizabeth Blake, her name is. I invited her home to my house for Thanksgiving because she was living all the way out in Queens and, just adverse situations. And I said to her, why don't you and your son come to my house for Thanksgiving? And she came. We're always inviting people to our house. Our house is never empty, Lady, as big as the family is. And that's because of how my grandparents and my mother, raised us. We see them do the same thing. Elizabeth came to my house. She had to go off to New Jersey to work. She was working with a lady over there. And she said, I can't stay long for Thanksgiving, So I said, no problem. Leave your son. Let him stay with me. And my son was there too. And they're the same age. So I said, leave him and you go off to work. And I make sure she had her dinner packed. And I baked and I gave her a whole cake for herself. And she headed off to New Jersey. And when she got to George Washington Bridge, she called me. She was on the bus. She called me. She said, Jacqui, that cake is almost done. I said, oh, already? She said, you need to sell these cakes because this is the best cake I've had since I've been in this country. I said, I've never thought of it because I've always baked the cakes and just give them to friends or family. Somebody want a cake, me just bake. We bake a cake, carry go to church and tell them to sell it and make some money. I never thought of it. And Elizabeth insisted that I should do that. And I said, something, I will. And that's how I started, just telling one and two people. And she said, I'll be your first customer.
Wow.
And Elizabeth was the first person to buy one of my cakes. Yes. And that's how it started. One word, the word started going out. And right now, even if I don't put it on Facebook each year, I still have a set amount of people that I bake for. Then I'm even sending cakes to Holland, Germany, England.
Because I know a lot of people have been ordering from you.
Yes.
Every year.
So, even if you don't see me put anything on Facebook, I know that I still have a set amount of people in Texas. Shaba, you see Shaba, Taximan Shaba told me one time, he said he wants a good cake. Jacqui may say bake, Shaba, and him straightforward. And I bake Shaba cake. I used to sell the cake to Cool Runnings restaurant. So they used to sell it. Shabba went to Cool Runnings one day and it came and it said, Jacqui, buy our cake about Cool Runnings, you know, and the cake, they are not for your cake, you know. Me now go back at Cool Runnings, go buy no cake. Because we know it's not for your cake. I said, well, you know that. He said, it don't taste like for you.
Mm.
And it really wasn't my cake. Right. And what Shabba said, I want a cake for my sister. I send a cake for my sister. All right, I sent a cake for his sister. I mailed it for him, whatever. And do you know that from that day, that woman hasn't ordered a cake from anybody else?
Just you. Only you.
Yeah. And I still haven't met her. And even this year, now that I'm in Florida, and anywhere I go, I bake. I'm in North Carolina, I bake. I'm in here, as long as I have an oven, I bake. And the cakes, I just say I bake it the same way. I mean, I bake dry cake. My cakes are moist, and that's what my customers like. My Christmas cake. I even sent my cake so people for their weddings. And she was here for Christmas, and she called me and said she was going to be in the area, and her daughter came and picked up their cake right here in Florida.
So congrats to Puddn Pan Inc.
So when I decided to register the business in 2018, I went on the New York, because I was in New York. I went on the NewYorkState.gov, and I put in the name that I want to call it. And I realized there's no other Puddn Pan. And I said,
it wasn't taken.
It was waiting for me. And immediately I just set it up. So it's registered. It's the Puddn Pan Inc. And that's me.
Yes. And she's CEO. See there. Well, Jacqui, I tell you, we've really had a good morning. Let's jump on over to our chat. So Mark finally made it at 10:52 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Imagine that.
Mark had to call you out. So Mark, you can go back and watch from the beginning at the end of the broadcast. But good to see you, Mass Mark. And
my friend Mark.
Your mom says most of what she's saying is written in my book.
I was going to tell you that. I was going to say that. A lot more is in my mother's book. The book is on Amazon. It's called Been Through the Valley Then and Now.
Yes.
And it's just telling about then, things we did then and our lives in between. And each of us as kids, my mother has, she wrote about it in a book. My mother is a very good writer, and she's a very good playwright too.
Yes.
And
so you come from good stuff.
Yeah.
What can I say? Here is Stewie Cuny, Celeste from church. Celeste says, one Saturday, mother put me on the donkey to go to market. The donkey reel up and fling me up in the ear. Until today, I have that mark.
Listen, then donkey stories. If you should do a show on donkey stories, I'm sure you have a 2-hour show.
My brother, my Uncle Ken Donkey had my experience. So what Angie says, so do you shop all over, and what's the ordering process?
Oh, I do have an Instagram. It's a Jack's Puddn Pan, an Instagram. I honestly don't use Instagram as much as I do Facebook. But as long as you go on Facebook, hit me up and send me a personal message, I'm right there. Or so
what's the handle on Facebook? There's a feedback I get when I'm talking to you. I don't know why.
I don't know, because I'm not getting it. You're very clear on my side.
Okay. So yes. What's your handle on Facebook?
On Facebook, it's just my name, Jacqui Francis Tyson.
So you need to spell the Jacqui. You have to spell the Jacqui.
Oh, Jacqui. My mother insisted that she never spell my name Jackie. So therefore,
right.
My mother spell my name with all the vowels except the O. Jacqui. That's how my mother spell my name. But I take off the E and just say Jacqui. Francis Tyson.
There you go.
And eventually I'll be making a page for for my Puddn Pan. So it's the Puddn Pan Inc. and it's Puddn Pan Top @gmail.com. You can always send me an email. Puddn Puddn PANTOP. That's Puddn Pan Top @gmail.com. Yes.
Okay, great. Well, Jacqui, we have had a hilarious, entertaining, informative morning. Yeah, the
Yes.
morning. We are from
There's
Jamaica.
so much more. There's so much more that we could talk about.
Talk about,
You know,
right?
let me ask you a question. What's the very, very first thing when you're in a country you do when you get up? When you get up, what first thing you have to do in your grandmother household?
The very first thing me have to do is spread up my bed.
Okay. All right. So me give you the spread up the bed. The first thing me used to have to do is take out the chimney.
No, well, me never have no chimney experience because me did have regular.
Oh, so you
Modern.
born in a bossy house. We didn't have chimney. Chimney and altar in a meal chimney. You better not granny chimney. Okay, with the pretty flowers on the side. And you have to go through the other part of the one will take out grandma peel and carry it outside and wash them with bleach and make sure it's nice and turn down and don't chip it.
Yeah, but because when them chip, they don't really look good, you know. And if there's no money to buy more than one per se, where you can just roll over, right? When
No.
them chip.
And not only that, one hole. Me remember there was a hole that was formed in one of grandma's peel, and one man come and weld it. Me laugh. When no, me can't laugh. Me never know say it was funny then. You weld the chimney part, the chamber part.
So no, me never had no chimney for empty.
Oh, so lady
No,
needs to, you know, you can't talk to we.
No.
You can't talk to
They
we.
know
We have
of
the full
chimney.
experience.
Yeah,
the full
I
country
know.
experience.
I know of chimney. I've had to use it, but we know you have chimney. If me go up, there's a place I went to up in Padmore one time for a funeral, and they never really they had outside bathroom and thing. We even had outside standing shower and love.
Okay.
we
Nice,
never do.
nice,
We can't do
nice.
nothing about it. But yes, it was to
No,
spread
that's
up the
nice.
bed. To spread the bed and go feed chicken.
Yes, we had to feed the chickens and we didn't have pigs. It was like we were on old McDonald's farm because we had pigs, we have goats, we have chicken, we have duck, we have sheep. After my grandfather went to some place I came to bring back sheep and turkey. My mother didn't even build a dog pond. Listen to me.
Yes.
And we had to take care of those. And we had dogs. We had to take care of all of that. It was, I think we had a rich upbringing. And
life
goats
was free. Life was free in the Free Hill. Life was free in Free Hill. So Angie is just asking for the accuracy of the email.
Okay. The email
I'll type it in here for you.
PUDDN.
UDDN. No, hold on.
PUDDN. PAN. TOP. At gmail.com. Puddn Pan Top. Puddn Pan Top.
Okay, Puddn Pan Top. There you go, everyone.
Or if you want my number, I could, I don't mind giving out the number. So
all right, go ahead.
Also call. It's 917.
Telephone 917
533 2380.
Okay. See that? Nobody can say they can't find you. You have
right.
email.
And I'm on Facebook, Jacqui Francis Tyson.
You have website, Jacqui?
Not for the Puddn Pan, not as yet. Okay. I'll be working on that pretty soon. But with school going on right now, that's what I was telling my sister. There are other things that we're planning, for like some Grubhub pickups. But I don't want to start something. I'm the kind of person I dedicate myself to something whenever I commit to it, and I don't want to start something and then because of school and the weight of schoolwork and all of that, I'm not able to deliver. Right. So when I find that the time is best, there are other things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing like some Grubhub pickups, and that's going to be called Sunday dinner. And that's just a hint.
Well, Jacqui, it really has been my pleasure. Seriously, I get to know a little more about you, and so does everybody else. And Mark says, I talk about the pig toilet with the big jumbo roach. Mark, Mark, You simply, Mark, you just a mess up my background right here now. Mark, you just a mess up my background. You see
Oh
my
my
background, right?
goodness. Oh my goodness,
So,
lady.
I
It's
know.
such, oh my God, what a morning. What a
It
morning.
has been good. Free Hill Aguan. Free Hill Aguan. Yes, Free Hill
Yes.
Aguan. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will now have to wrap up with Jacqui, but just to
Oh,
let you know, this is my YouTube channel, Inside the Zone with the Lady D, the letter D, Denise Gomez. Please subscribe. Please be an active participant, a viewer. So when I'm on, as of Monday and Thursday, I have a radio program. On Mondays, on Linkage Radio here in New York, it's called Inside the Zone. And it's aired 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that feature is the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city
mhm.
you walk, drive, and reside. And on Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And don't ask if we're not connecting. And
Oh, yes. That's fun.
if you, I started a segment called Mail Zone, MAIL. Your emails are my priority. If you have love relationships, stories to share, Jacqui had to ask me this
I,
morning
yeah.
because I've been getting emails inside the zone, nyc@gmail.com. And I guarantee you, people been emailing me their love stories, challenges, and we talk about them, give them advice. But it's good, and that's on a Thursday at 7 p.m. So I'm looking forward to having you join me on Mondays. It's news at 7, keeping you in the know with news happenings and facts. So the show is growing. And on a first Saturday monthly, I host an online platform called Gifted Fingers Touching
I
Lives.
love that. I
A
love
gift,
that one.
a
It's
calling,
beautiful.
a purpose. And I've been interviewing some really, really talented
Amazing
musician,
people.
musicians. So February 5 will be the next staging. So I'm looking forward to seeing my YouTube channel growing with the viewers and the subscribers. So please, I ask for your support. Had I not had this platform, you would not be seeing Jacqui right here with me this morning.
Exactly.
Right? So it is indeed a blessing to many people. And I started the show June 5, 2008, and it has been going well. And I have seen my growth personally. I've seen the growth of the show, and it has opened doors for me to do so many things that I have a natural talent for. So I'm just
Yeah.
saying, please support me inside the zone with the Lady D on the YouTube channel. And Brody says, lovely Saturday morning show, Lady D and Jacqui still look so beautiful. Straight blessings, my country girls. Jamaica, well, Jamaica Jim to the flipping world. All right. Yes. Hey, Gail. Ah, Gail, my pastor's wife in Jamaica, now Bishop.
Oh,
Prince
nice.
Harvey, his wife Gail, my husband and I enjoy this so much, laughing all through. There you go. We don't change.
No.
No, we're not change. We're not do change like that. So thank you, Gail, for joining. And I'm looking forward. Who will be my next guest next
I
week?
wonder.
I wonder. You'll see the promo. So email me inside the ZONENYC, or we say Z at gmail.com. Okay, that's my email. If you want to be a part of Mail Zone, where there's some stuff going on that you'd like to share, but Jacqui, Puddn Pan Inc. happen. You are
Thank
happy.
you.
You have moved on, transitioned into new phases of your life, and we bless
Yes.
you. And I'm waiting so that you can give him a little joke right here.
Oh, yes, it's
Yeah.
coming.
So congratulations. Great.
Congrats to you. And,
Yeah.
as long as you're doing something, I'll be here to support you. You just have to call. And as long as I have the time, I'm in it.
Yeah.
I even spare times from the books.
There you go. But we want you to excel, all the cum laudes in the world, what have you. You go, you go get that done and come back. So thank you, everyone.
Oh my
Such a
goodness.
pleasure having all of you, and it's such an interactive platform. I always try my best to acknowledge you, to read your comments, and so on. Usually, I
Yeah.
put them up, but um, this morning, but I had to kind of pop this one because
Say hello to Jacqui
Jackie
for
was a
me.
model, just in case you all didn't know.
Oh, yes. I actually did modeling for 16 years.
For 16 years, she up
My
at the
mother,
people them place.
it was my mother who
Mm.
put us into modeling. I was 15 years old. She put us into modeling for the summer because we didn't have anything to do that summer. We weren't going to camp that summer. And this man walked up in the yard and said, Miss Chavance, I hear that you have girls up here and I'm opening a modeling school. My mother said, put your clothes on and go on.
Just like that. Yeah,
What?
just like
We
that.
gone at modeling school, and I went on to do Miss Jamaica fashion model pageant.
Mm.
I won a few pageants. Won Miss Saint Anne, Miss Salem and Runaway Bay. I was runner up in Miss Saint Anne Festival Queen, and I did Miss Jamaica. Well, I didn't go to the finals for Miss Jamaica World, but I did quite a few, and then eventually turned around and helped out in
Well, I
pageants
can
all over.
actually say as well that Jackie, the clothing network through my church, I was the organizer for it, the head of it, and so we had incorporated a fashion show in that. And Jackie came and, taught the children and young adults how to do the walk and thing. So, she's still doing
That
what
was
she
fun.
do. Yes, and it was such fun. So we're
Yes.
wrapping up right now. It's 14 minutes after 11 o'clock, and I know some of you don't go down a bus line yet. You're all late because of us, but certainly we'll be doing another feature. And those of you who remember, if you are from rural Jamaica, the buses that used to ply your route, make a note, because I want to do a feature on that whole spectrum of traveling around Jamaica.
Oh, that's
Yes,
nice.
how we used to commute
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yes.
So there is the footpath, but then there is the bus path.
The bus bar. Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to be featuring, and that I'm going to do on a live platform like this
Okay.
rather than doing it via the radio broadcast.
Right.
So
Oh, that
a
sounds
lot
like fun.
going on, things are happening. And I
Hmm.
want to say, yard, ever good, no matter what going on there, we
No
continue to
matter
pray
what.
for our country, but we love yard. So,
Yes.
Jackie, I say blessings. Thank you, my love. It was good. We had a good time this morning.
Yes.
And to all my viewers who spent the time to be here with us, mwah, love or no,
See how quickly the time just ran off.
tongues,
It's like we just
tongues,
start.
me telling you, tongues to everyone, tongues to
Tongues.
everyone, tongues to everyone who came on, and we appreciate. So blessings. Jackie, stay on with me. But this is how
Okay.
I close out. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you on the next week, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And I'm a time girl. At 10, I click my go
Yes,
live
me too.
button.
I like
If you
the
don't
time.
come in
Yes.
on time, then you're going to catch us midstream, like Mark.
All right. So
Right.
love you, everybody. Look out for
Blessings,
the pudding pan. We'll
everyone.
be doing things, and Lady
Take it
D's
easy.
inside the zone.
There you go. Bye bye. Stay with me, Jackie. Don't go everywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere. Bye, everybody.